Hi, everybody. Welcome to Something to Talk About. My name is Taco, and I'm going to be talking about Godric Borell, one of the sistermen. And I'm going to call this like my Islander week and like non Iron Islander week. But first, I just have to say, welcome! How's it going, everybody? What's up? Welcome to Something to Talk About. My name is Taco, and I'm like beardless. Got a haircut today. This is the least hairy you'll see me. I'm growing it back. I'm trying to grow it back. By the time this comes out, I'll have a beard and I'll be watching it. And I'm going to say, God, I'm glad I got my beard back. Look at that. That guy looks awful. This guy right here. All right. Anyways, so what's going on here? So I do a Song Bots and Fire Lore, and I will be covering Godric Borell. And I am pumped. This character is great. I don't want to do a big spiel, so this is the first time I actually have my what's going on up here. So I'm going to put this up here. You can read it. You can pause it, read it. And yeah, so I don't have to waste any time. All right, so that's what's going on. Thank you and welcome back. If you paused it, let's just jump into it. Let's Philip DeFranco this, guys. Godric Borell. I hope you guys are ready for clam chowder. Sister stew. Is that the red or the white? Never remember that. White? All right, no one's gonna get that joke. All right, Lord of Sweet Sister. That's it, man. This is this guy. Godric Borell has a ton of cool titles, such as Lord of Sweet Sister, Shield of Sisterton, Master of a Breakwater Keep, Keeper of the Night Lamp, and Head of House Borell. Okay, it's just 5. Godric is big and fleshy, man. Fleshy? Am I fleshy? We all have flesh. Is it like just like got a lot of flesh hanging off you? All right. Godric is a big, fleshy man with massive shoulders of an oarsman. Yeah, I'm not an oarsman. I'm assuming if you row boats a lot, you got big shoulders. His face is blunt and brutal with a massive brow. Godric is bald on the top of his scalp, though coarse gray hair and white hair grows from his cheeks and chin. Um, yeah, the the black-eyed lord, he's got black eyes, has thick lips and a nose with lumpy and red broken veins. God, you're kind of ugly, Godric. Godric has all of his teeth. Good for you. Though most are yellow and black and oh, bad. Uh, he has the mark, which is a webbing between his middle 3 fingers and on his big right hand. So the Innsmouth look from Lovecraft. All right. Davos Seaworth thinks of him as a robber lord. Though Godric has a black repute, he still respects the ancient laws of hospitality and seems pragmatic. He loves storms for the gifts it provides. He also dislikes northern men. There we go, guys. We're talking Godric Borell. He's big. He's kind of mean. He's pretty ugly, but he's got big shoulders. But he ain't a bad dude. All right. So, for those of you who have not read the books or just it's been a while since you went through Davos's chapters, who, what, where, what's this sister? What is this? All right. So we're gonna talk about House Borell on the sisters. House Borell of Sweet Sisters, a noble house from the Vale ruling Sweet Sister, an island of the Three Sisters. And it's a port town. Sisterton so it has a port town called Sisterton. Their castle is Breakwater in Sisterton. House Borell's titles include, oh my God, I have to say them all over again: Lord of Sweet Sister, Shield of Sisterton, Master of Breakwater Castle, and Keeper of the Night Lamp. They are sworn to House Sunderland and also reside in Sisterton. Their arms are a white spider crab on green gray. I cannot talk today. That's bad. I was planning on doing a lot of filming. Unique New York. Okay, so these guys are just in charge of Sweet Sister, and they do pay fealty to House Sunderland, who are also in Sisterton. So they don't really get into it, but is there just like 2 castles on either side, and you like go to the guy who's like your lord, who's like in charge of your area? Like, you know, you got your mayor and your governor, like the mayor of I'm just gonna grab a capital city, Bismarck, North Dakota. The mayor of Bismarck is over here, and then just like the governor of Bismarck's over here. And you just which one do you got it? All right, that's just kind of goofy to think that. Then why did they bring Davos there and not the Sunderlands? Yeah, who knows? All right, the ancestors of House Borell were pirate kings until the Starks came down on them with fire and sword. For 5,000 years, the Borells have had the mark, a sort of a webbing between the three middle fingers of their hands. They fought for the blacks in the Dance of Dragons, and for the Blackfires and 2 rebellions for which the sistermen suffered grievously. Yeah, the Sunderlands kind of kept getting them into stuff, but yeah, they got the intimate look. They're a little fishy. They're a little on the fishy side. So yeah. All right. Titles. Godric is the lord of one of the 3 sisters. The island sweet sister, and he's a shield of Sisterton, which this is me just explaining all the titles. The shield of Sisterton refers to their responsibility to protect and defend Sisterton, a town in Sweet Sister, where they are overlords. House Sunderland resides. Okay, never mind. Where their overlords, House Sunderland resides. Master of Breakwater Castle refers to their seat of House Borell, the Castle Breakwater, located in Sisterton. Keeper of the Night Lamp refers to the responsibility of maintaining and defending the Night Lamp, a beacon which is located on Sisterton, a town in Sweet Sister. Okay, those are all the titles. So they have a lot of stuff that they have to do, and we'll get to the Night Lamp and why that's important and why it isn't, and yeah, I think. But let's get into the book. So this guy comes in way later on, right? Davos's chapters, I want to say last book, right? Dance of Dragons, I think that's when Davos's chapters are. So yeah, we don't really hear much from them until this one chapter where we got Godric Borell, but it's a really cool chapter and he's really interesting. Last time I was listening to it, when I'm like, oh, I got to cover Godric Borell, it was months and months ago. I was doing dishes and I was listening to the books and I was like, how come I haven't covered Godric Borell? It's a really good chapter. So yeah, go. Have you guys ever heard of A Song of Ice and Fire? Go check it out. All right. Life on the Sisters. During Robert's rebellion, Eddard Stark washed up on Sweet Sister while trying to sail to the north and raise his banners. Godric's father easily could have turned Eddard over to the Mad King for reward. Godric was in attendance when his father instead freed Ned, and this is a really big moment apparently for Godric. Because the 3 sisters have a long-tolerated smugglers, Lord Stannis Baratheon, master of ships for King Robert Baratheon, once sent a fleet to Sisterton without Godric's leave and made him hang a dozen of his friends. Stannis threatened to hang Godric as well should some ship sink because the Night Lamp had gone black. So he's like, Stannis, what are you doing here? I'm going to kill pirates and smugglers. He's like, that's everybody. He's like, well, I'm gonna kill a lot of people today. And by the way, if that lamp goes out, I'm killing you too. Stan. Yeesh, man, that's not a good impression. You didn't make a good impression. Godric has daughters but no sons, and his granddaughters include Gela, the lady that makes him sister stew. Yeah, I had to bring that up. One of his granddaughters cooks for him, and you know what? She makes some really good sister stew with some really good spices, which we'll get to. All right, so the storm provides. I had to drink some water. Lord Godric claims the cargo of the slow-eyed maid after the ship crashes into rocks in the Bight, so they find the shipwreck. The ship contains spices such as cracked pepper and saffron, which he gives to Gela to put in the stew. A group of Freys led by Rhaegar Frey arrive at Sweet Sister en route to White Harbor, bringing Lord Wyman Manderley, the bone of Wyman's younger son, Wendell. Although Disdainful of Wyman, Lord Godric states that he would have hanged Freys if they had extended him such a courtesy as, hey, we brought you back the bones. That's a courtesy. I'd say, you know what else is a courtesy? That's what Godric's claiming. I'm not saying I would hang him, but yeah. So the storm provides, he's referred to as a wrecker, which is he goes through the wreckage of stuff. So, and there's a big thing about he might cause them by shutting off the night lamp so people run into rocks. And that's like a really big thing, right? And that's kind of ties into Stannis's night lamp theory of him doing that in the Crofters village. We might get to it. But anyways, this is kind of where Stannis got the idea because Godric's a bit of a wrecker. He likes to check out wreckage. All right. Beer and sister stew. Godric is having supper when Lord Davos Seaworth is brought before him. So Davos, I'm not covering what happened with Davos, but so Davos kind of gets booted off his own fleet because Salladhor Sand's sick of it, and he heads to Sisterton to try to find passage to White Harbor. And yeah, so but he doesn't go right to Godric Borell or the Sunderlands. He just goes to a bar for a while, and then finally they go and get him. So yeah. Where am I? Yeah. Godric is having supper with Lord Davos is brought before him. Godric immediately updates Davos on current events since Davos has been at the wall. He's behind on the news. The news included the death of Lord Tywin Lannister. What? Spoilers. And Lysa Tully. Whoa. He asked Davos about the whereabouts of Salladhor Sand, and Davos lies, telling him that he still serves Stannis, which he doesn't. I wrote Stanos there. Good old Stanos. That's hilarious. Godric offers him brown beer, black bread, and creamy white sister stew. Davos was relieved to have guests right. So he's like, have some soup. He's like, dude, as long as you don't have to, like, as long as this means they're not going to kill me, I'll eat all the soup you want. He informs Davos of his friend, of the Freys passing through White Harbor. So he's like, I want to go to White Harbor. And he's like, well, the Freys already went there. Dang it. So enjoy your soup. Shut up. All right. Tales of Ned. It becomes evident that Godric harbors doubts about Queen Regent Cersei Lannister's ability to rule, as he notes that Davos would be in chains if her uncle Sir Kevin Lannister were in power. Because he's like, I'm not putting you in chains right now because I don't really fear the Iron Throne. If they put Kevin Lannister in charge, which they eventually do, I would put you in chains, but I don't really care about Cersei. Davos takes the opportunity to tell him how awesome Stannis the Manus is. Well, have you heard about Stannis, our Lord and Savior? The Lord of Sweet Sister tells Davos the story of Eddard Stark's visit, recounting to Davos about the fisherman and his daughter who brought Ned in secret across the Bight to the north, at the beginning of Robert's rebellions. Ned got caught in a storm and washed up his sweet sister. If Godric is to be believed, Ned left her with a bag of silver and a bastard in her belly, in which she named Jon Snow after Jon Arryn. This is one of Jon's possible mothers. Of course, when it's brought up, no one ever brings this one up. This is Jon's possible mother. So according to Godric Borell, it's this fisherman's daughter. But yeah. So we'll get to that. Calm down. You were never here. When Ned stood in front of the Lord of Sweet Sister at the time. So yeah, so this is in front of Godric's dad. When Ned stood in front of Godric's father, he told Ned that he could send Ned's head to the Mad King for a large ransom. But at this point, Robert has already won many battles. Young Godric spoke up to his father's court, claiming that he fought like a king. So the maester said that Rhaegar would certainly put the rebellion down. To this, Ned said, in this world, only winter is certain. Why did I say world? Wood. In this world, only winter is certain. Because they're like, no, like, what if Robert becomes king? And this guy's like, it is a certain that Rhaegar will win. And Ned's like, ain't nothing certain but winter. Because that's Ned Stark. Ned Stark. And they're like, all right, yeah, got a point. It was pretty cool. When Godric tells Davos of his father's parting words to Ned Stark, so this is when, Godric tells, Davos that this is what he told Ned, what his dad told Ned. Oh my God, sorry if this is confusing. If you lose, you were never here. So then Davos replies, no more than I was. Godric then allows Davos to leave for White Harbor in an attempt to win over Lord Manderley. So this is like a cool echo, is what all that was. Sorry if that was confusing, but Ned once washed up there and it was Godric's dad. And Godric's dad's like, if you were never here, if you guys lose this war, I never sent you away. And then when Davos shows up, good old Davy Dav, he says the same thing. Like, if you guys somehow win, cool. But if you lose, you don't dare tell anyone that this happened. So, yeah. The Fisherman's Daughter, the Storm God, and the Mark. So these are the three interesting things about, to kind of take away from Godric Borell and kind of some stuff, right? So let's start with, this is one of the few stories of Jon Snow's possible mothers we actually hear in the books between Ashara Dane and Willa the Milkmaid, the Fisherman Daughter, and of course, R plus L equals J. This one is probably the least mentioned and least believed. Yeah, more people believe it's freaking like Ned and Ashara than than this. And then of course R plus L equals J for a lot of people, including me, is pretty close to canon. If not, I mean, I don't consider it canon. I don't believe it as much as I believe things in the books, like actual things that I know happen in the books. But do I believe Fisherman's Daughter? No. But I mean, it's very possible. This one is just the least one brought up. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And then he would have been John the Fisherman. That's a Primus joke. All right, then what else do we got? The store provides. Also, Godric keeps talking about how much he loves storms and how they provide, right? He says, the storms provide. They brought him Davos. They brought him that seasoning, which he put in the stew. It's a really cool scene. So Davos is eating the sister stew, and he's like, you guys got like seasoning in this. He's like, yeah, dude, I got it off the one-eyed sloat or whatever the heck the name of that boat was. Saffron in my New England clam chowder. I mean, sister stew. All right. So, and all right. So, yeah, he like bringing him spices and Davos and Ned to his father. This makes me think of the storm god from the Ironborn culture. So he keeps talking about how the storm provides. So I think we are supposed to kind of connect to them. But he contributes this not to the storm god, but to the Lady of the Waves and the Lord of the Skies. But even that sounds very Ironborn, because they are oddly similar. There are odd similarities between the two groups of islands. So I'll say that again. So, the storm god, or the Ironborn, have the drowned god in the water and the storm god, and they're constantly fighting, right? And then these guys have the what did I just say? The Lady of the Waves and the Lord of the Skies. So again, there's a water and a sky god. There's kind of similarities there. So I'm not saying that Sisterman and Ironborn are the same, but whatever culture they ultimately came from, maybe they were the same, or maybe they were close, right? Because there's a lot of cool similarities. And the storm provides a storm god, Raiden. I play a lot of Mortal Kombat. All right, and then lastly, the Mark is absolutely there to make us think of the Deep Ones, and Lovecraft and the Squishers like for sure. So yeah, so if you guys never read Shadows over Innsmouth, Lovecraft, I like Lovecraft. I don't like the guy, but but anyways, in that there's the Innsmouth look, and it's these people who live near the water, and back in the day they messed around with some fishy folks, so they kind of got some fishy folk little features, right? And it's like circle eyes and thin lips and webbed hands. These guys got the mark. So there is kind of deep ones kind of going on, and you kind of have squishers around, right? And squishers are kind of like fish folk. So am I saying that this is proof that squishers have slept with sister folk? No, I'm not saying that, but I think we're supposed to kind of think that. And there might be something weird going on there. I'm not like gonna go all crazy tinfoil hat on you, but I think there's some weird connections going on, or maybe we're just supposed to think about Lovecraft when it comes to that. Also, I do have a weird theory, and I'm going to bring it up in a video I'm doing later on Halloween, where I do think that we're supposed to, or there's like a weird possibility of the whole webbed fingers of the sisterman. Like, this is out there, but how Nimble Dick Crab is talking about squishers. What if that's just his like backwoods, like super messed up, ignorant bigotry of like what sister men are to him? Right? Like, oh yeah, they got webbed hands and big bellies and they come and steal kids. And it's just like sister men trading around. Like it's not even squishers, like there's not monsters. I don't think that's possible. I just like was thinking of that, of like, what if it's just Nibble Dick being like just awful? Anyways, we don't need to get into squisher talk. That was Godric Borell, everybody. He's a great character, and yeah. So I'm gonna do a video for Nimble Dick on Halloween, and I know I'm gonna bring it up again. So whatever. All right, you guys have a good one. Click like and subscribe. What is your cool, awesome fan theory about Godric Borell? I don't cover all the fan theories. I don't come up with my own, except for what if sistermen are just squishers and Nimble Dick's just awful. All right, so yeah. Thank you. Click like, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this. And until next time, the storm provides. Peace.